Yeah, okay. Shit, it is kind of dark. um, yeah. I've been. How do I start this? Um, hey, what's up, guys? This is not a new review I'm doing. This is just something I wanted to, I don't know, ramble a little bit about. Uh, I'm not the hugest commentary or the discusser on on YouTube by all means, but I have been, like everybody else, I've been following the progression of the Man of Steel sequel, Batman vs Superman, or whatever it's going to be called, Man of Steel, blah blah blah. There was a bunch of titles released yesterday. Um, and of all the like rumors and discussions of what people are like excited about, the thing that's got me most excited now is the rumors that are coming in and starting to making it seem more and more plausible that Nightwing will actually appear in this movie. And like most of the things I discuss on these videos, I'm not the greatest comic book fan ever. Like I just started picking up comics again when the not even when the New 52 started. I started during Death in the Family, but I have caught up on. I read all the Batman's, all the Batman's, Nightwing, Justice League, all this kind of stuff. And Frankenstein was actually a new one I discovered. I didn't even know he was a character. I really like that. I really like that book. But anyways, part of the reason I'm really psyched about Nightwing is because he is one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. Batman and Nightwing is probably my favorite combo, unless I don't know. I really liked Batman and Damian also. Damian Wayne. But of course, these are all still rumors, and I wanted to talk about a thing that's been annoying me as a Batman fan all the way since the first movies were released, the Tim Burton ones, and then Joel Schumacher's. I was like, I wasn't more than 4 or 5 when the first Batman came out, but even then I got kindergarten pictures of me in a Batman sweater. I watched the movies. My mom even woke me up one night when it was first televised. She woke me up so I could watch it. And Batman Returns, all this kind of stuff. Batman Forever was the first I got to see in the cinema. I'm born in '85, so I would be not 8, 9 when I saw Batman Forever. And the thing that we had heard about Robin through all these years was that he was not going to be in the movies. We heard some rumors here and there about returns, and of course it came back in Forever. But most people, including myself, knew Robin from the Adam West Burt Ward TV show, which was like everything else, it was on reruns on Swedish TV here in Norway. And we all know what that did to Robin's reputation. Holy Kajillikers Batman, the Holy Whiskers Batman, all that stuff. Even though I love that show, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But when when it was on, I watched it religiously. Religiously, it was the only Batman show we had. And then, of course, come 1993, we get the animated series, probably 94 for us, probably. We get the animated series. And of course, I wasn't thinking about it back then, but that showed us a whole new kind of Robin. Which was more he was older. He was more geared towards the older teens, and then he would evolve, of course, into Nightwing, which I didn't know anything about at the time. I had no idea of the comic. For me, I always thought Batman was Bruce Wayne was Batman, and Robin was Robin, which after Batman Forever I knew was Dick Grayson. Um, and I think a lot of kids, at least my age, or during my time, we thought of comics as if you weren't really into them, of course. If you were like born and raised, loving the comics, loving what the artwork and the whole art form was standing for as a child, you would get this. But for most of us, the general conception I think was that comics were in a standstill world. That Batman was always Bruce Wayne was always Batman, and Dick Grayson was always Robin. This didn't change. That's time didn't move in the DC universe as far as me and a lot of other people knew. So and it was always hard to get hands on like Batman comics and stuff like that. I remember our local store was like carrying maybe one or two, once or twice. Actually, the only Batman magazine I remember that was in print regularly was the animated series Batman, which I don't know how long they kept that up, but I was at least buying them for like a year or something. Yeah, but anyways, we didn't really know this, and it seemed like the movie studios were aware of we thinking like this, because the one thing that I always hear from the old movies, from Chris Nolan, from everybody who's trying to tackle Robin, is that you can't get past the people's idea of Robin, which is still Burt Ward, like a little kid sidekick, which is just there to pick jokes and be the one in danger. And when I heard that Nightwing is part of the Man of Steel sequels, this means that we might be getting past what I call the Robin movie curse, which basically means that movie studios were never really going to try to give him a serious take because he was so flawed in his origin. With his age, and like you can't pass off an older man taking in a kid today, using him to fight crime with like the meanest psychopaths that you find in superhero comics you'll find in Gotham City. So it's like I can understand that. So for me, the logical point will be to jump straight in with Robin. No, with Nightwing. Show him as a working Nightwing. He can have been it for a while. There's no reason. Okay, unless when I was talking about this on YouTube, I was making the point that everybody knows who Dick Grayson is. So as long as you say that Nightwing is Dick Grayson, they will get the picture. I was told that not everybody knows this, and they're probably right. But we all know who Robin is, and his origin is probably as close to well known as Bruce Wayne's is. Like I remember going to see Batman Forever, and I didn't, like I've said, I've read comics, but I was still young. I didn't connect all the dots. I didn't read all the comics like word for word. I was like looking more at the pictures and stuff like that to get the story. I was still learning how to read at the time. But the Dick Grayson origin story, or at least the Robin origin story, I knew from somewhere. I remember watching Batman Forever in the cinema, and the circus scene coming up, and I think it started off with just the establishing image of the circus, of Haley Circus, and I remember I didn't know. I even with like watching the movie posters, I didn't know that Robin was in this. I hadn't seen any of the. I might have seen a trailer, but I don't even know if I saw that. I just knew a new Batman movie was in the theaters. Uh, I didn't know who any, even though I watched Jim Carrey on Ace Ventura. It took me like when I watched it again after, because I owned it on VHS, so I watched it a lot as a kid. But even then, I didn't ever think of Jim Carrey being in the movie until I watched it like when I was 15, 16, something like that. And like, oh yeah, this is one of Jim Carrey's earliest movies. Like, sorry, earliest movies. I know he's been in stuff like since the mid '80s. So, but like since he blew up since Ace Ventura. I didn't know who Tommy Lee Jones was. I wasn't sure who Nicole Kidman was. Um, and Chris O'Donnell, I did not know him from the post. Even that didn't tip me off. But when I saw the circus, I knew that Robin was going to be in this movie. So, point being, I think the general public has the origin down, and that means we can leap forward. We can skip this. We're already going with the older Batman, which by comic book continuity, he would at least have done one Robin. Um, he So we can do Nightwing like 25, maybe 30, even like well into his career, and then we can do little flashes. So we don't have to linger on it. We can say like it happened when his parents died when he was like 14, something like that. Batman takes him in, and he trains him. He does not hit the streets until many years later. Not many, but a couple, at least a couple. He's trained. He's doing reconnaissance. He's doing the Oracle jobs. He's doing everything. He's doing a crash course in being Batman and just adding his own flair to it. And at like 17, 18, when Bruce deems him good enough, he starts bringing him out on the streets as Robin. And then you can have the separation of him and Bruce by Dick being 23, 24, 25, around that. That would be like, you change a lot from 18 to 24. Like, so this could be done, and I'm really excited about this, because this means also, if they do it and it works, that leaves the gate open for Jason, Tim, and Damian to come into this, and the whole Bat family. One of the things I was talking about was on YouTube was, it would be awesome if the DC movies, even though they're gonna have this new movie verse like Marvel does, if they could catch up with their current, at least their current comics. They don't have to do the whole run anymore, but catch up with the new 52 run. So the status quo of Gotham and the relationships and all the characters are out there, and do stories retrospectively. Like, you can go back at any time, like the comics. You can always go back. You can do. Okay, they tried this in the Burton movie, so probably don't again. But you could do 2, 3 movies with like Two-Face as a side character, one where he's a main villain, Harvey Dent is in another, and then like the 4th movie, and this doesn't even have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be movies in between these again. You do the origin. The one thing I've said before, I love what Marvel's doing. I love their movies. I don't think, except maybe Iron Man 2, I don't think they really have done a bad one yet. And Iron Man 2 ain't bad, it's just not as good. I like what they're doing, but since Phase 1 worked out the way they did, I'm really scared that they're going to go formulaic with their Phase 2 and now 3, because now it seems to be really the first time around, it actually started with Incredible Hulk and Iron Man, and just let's try this, and let's put a couple of hints in both movies for what may come. And as those movies did well, there was actually a pause between. I remember when Iron Man 2 came out, I was kind of like, what happened to the Marvel movies? Weren't they supposed to come like, and now they're doing like Iron Man 2 straight away? That never really sat right with me. Um, but still, they were planning ahead, but still reacting to what the audience thought of the project. If this would have failed from the get go, the Avengers would never have happened. Um, but the problem now is that they know it works, and it could end up just being formulaic. Just let do the do the same roundabout. What I really want is like, I'm I'm not really sure if I want to keep up with the same actors as the characters. If you kind of get, you got a lot of people being scared about when Robert Downey Jr. is going to leave Iron Man and stuff like that, and there's going to be a whole lot of ruckus when that happens. Um, what I think DC should try, and I know this is probably way out. I've never heard anybody talk about this, so I'm probably extremely naive in thinking this would even work. But in my perfect world, instead of doing the multiverse or the movieverse in the same way that DC have done, just do your movies like you do your comics. And here's what I mean. I don't mean necessarily adapt straight from comic to movies, even though that would be cool. A Death in the Family, no, Death of the Family live action movie. That would be insane. R-rated, X-rated, like psychomaniac Joker. Uh, I would eat that alive if that movie came out and they did it like, because that kind of plays into my whole idea. Instead of doing the shared thing and continuity with the same actors moving through, which is a good idea, but if DC start doing it, they will just be repeating the formula. What you do is take all the great comic books you have, or characters. Take all of them. Do a fucking lineup instead of New 52. Here's DC's New 12. Alright, 12 different movie series. And seriously, start just making movies like crazy. Just make movies like crazy. I don't understand, why can't you make 5 Batman movies, or say 3 Batman movies in the same year, with different directors, different actors, and different, maybe not different producers. You gotta have someone who's linking in quality, checks the whole thing, but at least different cast and crew, and just you gotta do every movie with love. Everybody, don't half-ass it just to make quantity over quality. That's not what I'm talking about. Get comic book lovers and fans and directors who want to do Batman, and make them do their movies right on top of each other, so you can release like a Batman movie every 3-4 months, with a different style, a different crew, and it will be like a comic written and painted by different people. In the New 52, you have Batman, you have Batman and Robin, which is a separate comic. You have Batman: The Dark Knight, and Detective Comics. You got 4 different titles who's involving Batman, and each of these got a monthly release. So that's 4 Batman stories a year, including everything else you might pop into. No, for a month every year. Why can't you do this with movies? I'm really puzzled by this, because like if there's a concept and you need if one story needs to evolve over more movies, then of course you keep the same crew. You keep the same and you make it one cohesive story. But what I'm thinking is you can work on different sizes and types of Batman movies at the same time, and this will also take the sting out of stuff like all the flack Ben Affleck is getting over being cast as Batman, the flack Heath Ledger got. Same with Michael Keaton, everybody going back. If they were just one Batman movie out of several, would there be as much of an uproar? And like I said, don't half-ass it. Don't fucking do it just to. Don't do it just to push out Batman material, because then people will get bored by it. And I'm talking Batman because I love Batman, but you can do this with Flash. You can do this with Green Arrow. You can do this with Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, whatever. Because you know people will watch this. After a while, the hype may die down. You might get a drop in audience, but you will still have a core. And this core will start watching the movies like they're reading the comics. It will become its own thing, and you won't be bound to whatever continuity the last guy set up. You can sideline. You can do two movies involving one thing, and then the third movie is the Killing Joke because somebody wanted to do that. You just keep, and this will also help introduce. You can introduce so many more characters. Nightwing could have his own series. The Robins could have their own movie. Teen Titans, Justice League would be easier to get through. You would actually have like a stable. You would, and financially, I know it's a problem. So yeah, you could do like a main. Call it. You don't even have to call it the multiverse, but you got like one series of movies that's like a continuing story all the way through. So if you really want like the A-listers for the Justice League movie and stuff like that, you put them in that continuity. After the first Justice League is done, and fans signed off on it, then you could start doing whatever else pleases you with the Justice League. Then you can do the smaller stories, the bigger stories. Like, I feel we went from with the Avengers. I feel like we went from knowing nothing up until the first movie came out, and without knowing exactly what's going to happen. Already now, what is it? 3 years? Not even. It's only 2 years until the next one, I think. And we already know that will be Ultron, and Thanos will most likely be the major player in the third one. So I feel they kind of gave away too much already. They kind of jumped the shark at the end. So I'm hoping for the continued success of Marvel's Faces, but I just think if you freed it up a little bit more, so you could actually do straight up comic adaptations next to a continuing storyline, and just move actors around. Like, you will, at any given time, you will find at least 5, 6 in the decent range of actors who wants to play Batman, like, and any other superhero. And according to the story, the budgets of course will vary. You got some which will be like the major Dark Knight blockbusters and Batman vs Superman, and you'll have like small scale like psychodramas and shit, just set in Gotham with all your favorite Gotham characters. They're doing this with the animated movies. They're not thinking of any particular continuity. They're just doing whatever tickles their fancy, and I really want them to do this in real life too. I think uh, yeah. I don't know if I got that much else to say about it. Actually, felt very empty all of a sudden. Whew. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think about this? Am I just stupid and rambling about stuff I don't really know about, or could this work? Would you be interested in watching like um every third month a new Batman movie? Would that be too much, or would that be awesome? Own Nightwing series. I also feel this could help us get out of this trilogy thing that we seem to be stuck in, where every movie seems to be coming in threes. Like, you can do a really good one-shot story too. That's not a problem, and you can stay true to a comic. You don't have to take all these licenses. I don't ever gotten why it seems like every yeah, actually, and I like a lot of the. I like probably every Batman movie that's ever come out. So don't call me a hater. Um, but we still haven't had a director who just wanted to put a Batman movie on screen. We really haven't. Tim Burton was never interested in Batman at all. He was interested in the bad guys, which you can see traces of in Batman, and it's blatantly obvious in Batman Returns. Um, Joel Schumacher, he took over to make a Bat movie for the kids, and basically Batman and Robin, which was a toy commercial. So he was in it for more the financial status of it. I think he still wanted to make a decent movie, but you don't make Batman and Robin like, and he says it's not a good movie. He admits it, and he says it's not all his fault, and I believe him. So I won't blame him for that. But still, he if he wanted to make a real Batman movie, at least he didn't get to do it before he was sacked off. And then you have Nolan, who was he was just blatantly trying to distance himself from the series, which from the old series, which at the time was dead important for it to work. I don't think at the time Batman Begins came out, we probably wouldn't have accepted any other kind of Batman movie. We wanted it as grounded in reality as we could, and he took that to the nth fucking degree. I loved Batman Begins, at least when I saw it. It doesn't age as well. It's pretty hard to watch at times. Great scenes, and at some parts I love Nolan. And Dark Knight, one of my favorite superhero movies, and I still watch it now. And Ledger's performance as Joker is bang on super. Like, he's maybe 2 or 3 inches away from the Joker that I want to see, which is he was talking about the Mad Dog on the leash. He's like a mad dog off his leash. He's chasing Carson. He doesn't know what to do when he gets one. I I don't ever felt we really saw that, because at the end his plan was like it was pretty much something Cesar Romero could pull off, actually, without less. It was less less gaggy the way he did it, but the way Ledger did it. But it's like down to two boats, a bomb, or two bombs, a joke, and a fist fight with Batman. I want to see the psychopath. I want to see the murderous, villainous psychopath who will slit people open without a blink of an eye. He can't fuck it. In some comics, he doesn't seem to blink his eyes at all. With his face cut off, makes it kind of hard. So that Joker is the Joker that I want to see in a movie from us. Like, Jigsaw would look at this motherfucker and like, I can't devise a trap that would fit the crimes that you've committed. You know, Jigsaw would look at this guy and like, what can I do? He would probably enjoy most of the stuff I do to him. If I end up killing him in my trap, he will take it as he's winning. Like, but this was supposed to be about fucking Robinson, not and Nightwing, not Joker. So I rambled for a half an hour, so that will probably be good. Okay. Nightwing, I'm really excited about him being in the movie. If that's all it is, and he'll be in it, and it will start the continuation DC Marvel, no, the DC cinematic universe. I'm all for it. That's way better than nothing, and it will open doors for possibilities for the other Robins later. As now people will see that the Robin mantle is something that moves on. Yes, one more thing about the mantle, because I was talking earlier about us thinking about comics being in like a standstill time, like nothing ever evolved. The thing about Batman, like Batman was, they never talk about this. Bruce mentions it a couple of times here and there in the comics and stuff like that. But it's very rarely touched upon. Is the fact that Batman, one of the reasons Bruce Wayne created Batman is that anyone can be Batman. Or at least anyone who's ready to do the work. He knows he's not immortal. He knows that he's a man who's going to age and he's going to die. So, the Batman title and costume is pretty much like the old comic, The Phantom, which you don't know is about a guy on a pirate ship. Is it a pirate ship? Or at least a ship in like the 1600s or something like that. He gets attacked by pirates, washes up on an island. Everybody else on the boat is killed. And he's taken to a cave where he's giving a skull ring by the locals, and decides to swear by it that he will uphold justice and that and that this is something that he and his family will continue doing. That every firstborn will take over this title, and that's what happens. We have, I think. Last time I checked, I read this when I was a kid, but I think they were up at the 21st Phantom. Last time I checked. So, and that, I think that was the original plan with Batman, that this would be a moving, ongoing thing. Of course, comic book readers being comic book readers, and we can't fucking stand any fucking change. Bruce Wayne has stayed. And this is also part that I think DC made him too good of a character. He's too interesting. We still, after all these years, we still have those 8 to 25, 30, those years, which has not officially ever been explained. We've seen pieces of it. We've seen like side stories and stuff that's dealing with it, but official canon, it's... You can't look up on a timeline and say, okay, this is when he was with Ra's al Ghul, this is when he was doing this was when he was... Like, those years are a blank still. There's still too much unexplored about the character, and he's, of course, dashing good looking. Martial artist expert who will probably put Bruce Lee and everybody else to shame. smart as all hell, and all this stuff. So it's going to be really hard to find somebody who could carry the mantle of Batman and be as interesting and be as complex. Because the one thing that I think is going to happen if they start doing this, then Batmans are going to start dropping like flies. Then you're going to have like a new Batman every 5, 6 to 10 years, depending. But it's something, since it is part of it, either... No, you know what? I think they should, actually. I'm gonna be the one to say I think it's time to kill Bruce Wayne. For good. Kill him off. The real death of Bruce Wayne. He's gone. You can, if it doesn't work, bring him back at some point, but as for all intensive purposes, like Jason Todd, you kill him. You... gone. Because it's the one thing that doesn't really... it's the one thing that doesn't make sense in the Batman universe. It's fucking not. You know what? This should actually be another video. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Yeah, either way. Nightwing, Robins. Are you for it? You want more Nightwing? You want more Robin movies? Do you agree about the curse? Do you feel like Robin has been like basically pissed upon since the TV show? Let me know if you have any thoughts, and I'll probably see you around. As of 4 minutes, we're gonna enter the Day of the Doctor. So, happy 50th. Thank you, Clever Movies, for the rumors about Nightwing, which I got everything from. You should check them out. They're usually pretty dead on with what they publish. They don't usually put out things just to talk, and if they're unsure, they'll tell you. So, I'll see you guys around.